Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM, brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Good Saturday morning, everyone. Once again, it is Outdoors with Larry Ray, the fastest running sports and outdoor show, the fastest 90 minutes that you'll ever find about outdoor broadcasting, coming to you from the spacious 790 ESPN studios out here right off of Mount Moriah Boulevard.
Yes.
And, if you're in Brownsville, you can catch us there on 101.5, and Jackson on 95.3 in Brownsville and 101.5. And, I got it backwards there in Jackson. So, without further ado, we're going to get started on this.
It's coming. It's coming.
It is the oracle of the outdoors, the one and only. It's Larry Ray.
Woo, man, I tell you what, he has a radio voice, doesn't he? We won't go any further than that, but he does have a radio voice. And this is a segment that we've been looking forward to.
We have.
We really have, because, I'm tired of hearing just nothing but Frank. I did get the poodle guy a couple of times. Okay. So
we've had Jack Combs on
here.
We've
had Jack Combs on, so why not talk to the president himself?
All right, so today we have the president of the Master National Retriever Club for this year.
Yes.
Keith Winch from Colorado. And I met Keith probably, I think it's back in 2012. I think it's probably what it was, the first one.
Officially 12, yeah.
Our first one.
Oh, he's got it officially.
And Keith, you've had Jack before. We call Jack a poodle guy.
The poodle guy.
Poodle guy. Well, Keith is a golden guy.
And he's a Cajun guy.
He's a Cajun. He's a
Keith runs, the golden guy.
Keith runs golden retrievers and has been very successful with them. So, and Keith has the distinction of being in charge of the largest performance event in the history of the American Kennel Club coming up in about 6 weeks.
Wow. So Keith Winch out of Parker, Colorado. Good morning, Keith. How you doing?
Real good, real good. Thank you for having me.
Well, let's talk about this, Keith. You get to be president, and all of a sudden Frank comes up with all these dogs to send out there. So I know it's an honor to be the president, but what are the logistics of this for you as the president? What will you be doing during the Master Nationals?
Just like a chief mechanic, trying to make sure all the nuts and bolts are all put together and ready for the racetrack, and then we have a chief marshal that delivers the race in itself.
And you're go ahead.
We work all year long, and in some aspects we started 2 years ago working with the host member club, which will be Treasure Valley there out of Boise, Idaho, and getting it all put together.
And I've read that your love of what you do right now came when you lost a dog when you were 13. Did you ever think in your wildest dreams that you would end up being the president of the Master National Retriever Club, Keith?
No, sir, I sure didn't. But once you get involved with these great animals and the love of of what they can do, the camaraderie, the hunt test dog people are probably some of the best people in any kind of sport.
And this is really, Frank, all these dogs, why do you think, Frank, as Keith listens in, why so many this year? I mean, it's in Idaho. Man,
that's a great question, because the board's been asking me that for about 9 months right now. Why are we having so many dogs? I've been telling them we're going to have a bunch.
Well, why?
There are two reasons. And
Keith will agree.
Both of them are pandemic related.
Okay. All right.
The first one is we missed last year.
That's true. Yeah.
We had to cancel last year's event. It was going to be up in Minnesota, and we had to cancel it. And so there's a lot of pent-up demand to run this event. And so when we kept seeing dogs that were qualifying, you had to pass 6 weekend tests during the last 12 months to be eligible to enter. We don't just let anybody come.
Right.
You have to be a pretty good dog to get there.
Yeah.
And so they didn't get to run last year, and the dogs only have, they're like any other athlete. They've only got their career has a certain finite lifespan.
Period. Yeah.
About being able to run. So, not being able to run last year because of COVID, and then realizing that the clock is ticking on some of them. They just wanted, they're coming. We typically don't have this many dogs.
No.
In this type of remote location.
Yes.
And let me tell you, McCall, Idaho is a remote location.
Not to anybody who lives in Parker, Colorado. I mean, it's not, Keith can probably get there a lot easier than you can. So right, Keith?
A little bit, only about 6 hours difference, I think, 8 maybe.
Okay. So, and I'm assuming also, Keith, that this with this many dogs involved, it does show you what great interest there is in this event, right?
Oh, it's terrific. It's terrific that more and more people are getting involved with the dogs. It's phenomenal. There's no way around it. The dogs are just very attracting, and it's a good sport all the way around. It's a good family sport. All members of the family can get involved in it. And, of course, where Frank goes, he always draws a crowd, and it gets bigger each year.
Yes.
So a lot of it goes to his, hats off to him as well.
Well, it takes an effort. And I was reading some of these things, Keith. Are you actually involved in how many retriever clubs are you involved in?
I'm actively involved with the Mile High Golden Retriever Club on the Front Range. And they're having their test coming up just before our master event in Idaho.
So how many dogs do you have?
Right now I got one. I'm waiting on a breeding right now and getting a puppy out of that breeding. I lost one of my best dogs November 21st, and the pain of that still hurts.
Oh, man. Yeah. Had you had that dog a long time?
Yeah, I had him for 12 years, 8 months, and he was the son of my previous dog who died at 12 years, 4 months. So they had good lives, and they were darn good dogs.
Well, again, we're talking to Keith Winch. He is the president of the Master National Retriever Club, which will be holding its big Master National on September 30th through October 10th at Valley County, Idaho, hosted by the Treasure Valley Hunting Retriever Club. And it's a test of endurance, not just for the dogs, but it's a test of endurance for the folks involved. Keith, how many people does it take, Keith, to put this thing on?
Oh, it's immeasurable. I mean, there's so many arms and legs that grow out of it. We have 11 voting board members, and then there's expanded family of the board that does different committees.
Yes.
So we reach 16, and then the host committee could be innumerable, and we got to reach out to all the local communities to help put on this. It takes a metropolitan almost. We all one of our commercial liaisons for our sponsors, she always says it takes a village. Well, believe me, with this size of an event, it takes a village and more.
And being where you're located, I mean, that is not centrally located. So I'm wondering, Frank, and as Keith listens in, are you getting more from the West Coast involved in this? Are you getting some that would never go to?
We'll have more folks from the West Coast than we would, of course, if we were further away.
Right.
But surprisingly, the number of entries that we're getting from the East Coast and the Southeast and everything is pretty strong.
Really?
That's
okay.
I was pretty stunned when I kept seeing the entries coming in and where they were coming from. We got dogs from 38 states.
38 states.
38 states, including Alaska.
Okay, that's a state.
And we've got 4 dogs from Canada.
Oh, okay.
That are coming down, and we got of the oldest dog is like 12 and a half years old.
So you have an oldest dog? Does it?
I don't have the oldest dog, but the oldest dog that'll be there will be 12 and a half years old, and it's and then the youngest dog is under 2.
Under 2.
And that's the dog from Alaska.
Really?
Yep. Under 2. So it's pretty amazing.
Well, Keith, before we let you go, I know that this is an undertaking for you as being the president of this organization, but at the same time, I got to feel that you'll be glad when it gets here, and you'll be glad when it's over. Right, Keith?
Yes, and it's bittersweet. Every year, you look forward to the event. When the event actually gets there, it feels like Groundhog Day for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But as soon as it's over, you're planning and you're ready for the next year to come.
Well, we appreciate you being on here. Watch out for Frank out there. He'll be the guy driving the big truck. Are you taking that truck out there?
Absolutely.
All right.
I can't wait to see it.
Oh, yeah, it's really nice.
My truck is a bit of a somewhat of a legend in the retriever community.
I can imagine it is after your white one. What did you do with your white one?
I still have it.
Oh, I thought you buried it maybe or something out in the backyard.
I have it still. It's still running well.
Okay, well, look out, Keith.
Well, as long as that tailgate will hold a can of jelly beans, that's what everybody.
Oh, all right. We're finding something else. All right, buddy. Thank you, Keith. Y'all have a great success out there. Watch out for Frank for us, okay? Make sure he gets home. All right?
All right.
All right. Thank you, buddy. All right.
Bye-bye.
Let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry. We're going to come back and talk to the catfish himself. And then that's Catfish Sutton. We'll be right back.